Before the video begins, I forgot to also add that they're actually doing what I'm going to be talking about in the following video in anime translations too. In the lesser known animes where the translators in English dub are switching around what the original creators of certain animes are saying. So they'll change it into like political, like, you know, like the extreme feminism stuff, like the, what can I say, just like toxic feminism. Did you see this? I gotta actually show you this. I'll put this on the recording, but I gotta show you this. They're actually, the translators for English dub are changing what the original voice actors said. Yup, it's even going to that. Uh-huh. It's insane. It's wild. It's wild. But yeah, through the footage, I also meant to say that Stellar Blade looks completely awesome. I don't know if I've done a reaction video to Stellar Blade on my channel, but it looks beautiful. I got some clips on here, and then I have pictures of the model that they scanned into the game to show you on screen too. That, yeah, I mean, yeah, you'll see when you get into the video. All right, enjoy. Peace. Actually, one more thing that I have to add is that the summary of this video is, I personally believe the representation of all women should be in games. Not just now they're trying to de-beautify women that genuinely exist in existence. It is super weird. I believe everyone deserves representation in a proper way, not forced down our throats. And now it's like, you can't have, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like, I kind of personally, I don't want to say to each their own. I'm not like one of those weird gamers where I gotta have a super hyper over sexualized woman in the game. But a badass female protagonist any day of the week, I do not mind. But now, add on what's been happening on, forcibly making even a normal looking woman in a game forcibly ugly? Because any good looking woman is over hypersexualization? All right. There's got to be a line drawn somewhere. Yeah. Now enjoy the video. Stellar Blade looks absolutely awesome. I cannot wait to get my hands on Stellar Blade. But this video is about a particular thing that I wanted to talk about for a while, but I felt like I didn't have the background and the research such as YouTubers like Fleekazoid, or Fleekazoid is more of a memer on this stuff, but still pushing, you know, the narrative of things that are happening. There's Kyle, there's Fritanga, there's someone else, and then I don't know if any other ones, but you know, the ones who are really trying to get the message across that games are being altered by people who do not play games. And finally, we've got an example right here where I couldn't believe that Tyrone Magnus even made a video on it, because it just shows you that more and more people are noticing. You know, I even seen what shocked me, and I said this on a different channel, on one of my alternate channels where I did a playthrough of Sunset Overdrive, that I couldn't believe that, what's their name? I watched them for a little bit while I took some of my break from YouTube. It was Angry Joe. Oh, Angry Joe and them were like on the show laughing at people that were saying, that's not my Mary Jane. And they were missing, to me, they were missing the whole point of why this was even brought up in a discussion. And it was the fact that they are purposefully altering the faces of women within games. And to me, that is one first sign of people who may be for the agenda, but it's not. He ended up speaking out against it, I think, in his overall review from what I've heard. But the reason it rose red flags for me was because this is how it's happening in every form of media, not just games. The people who you know, sometimes may just want to stay out of it, may think that people are over exaggerating, blah, 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 you know, every little nuance or perspective that you can throw in there. But the problem is if you're just immediately going to shut down that some of these people are gathering this evidence and being like, yo, it looks real suspicious, and they're not trying to come to any certain conclusion, you know, if you shut those people down, then it just looks like you're serving the other agenda. But then when you finally take a step back, take an objective view of everything that's been going on, you can really start to see the truth. And for me, I didn't have all of this collection of screenshots and everything coming from Suicide Squad and like Harley Quinn and all this. But now finally, we got an example that has happened with Stellar Blade. It says the woke mob is upset. And I don't even like saying woke or woke mob, because that is really not what the word used to mean. But we have finally got something in the gaming community that has upset people that are trying to shove this agenda down your throat. And it's finally like just showing its light through the cracks of this whole narrative they're trying to drop on you guys. And hopefully this wakes up more and more people to what's going on, not just in video games, but movies. When people are talking about woke Hollywood, it's all part of the same agenda. So anyways, I'm going to show the clips. I'm going to put the credits on screen, and then I'm going to get into what I finally want to say behind this whole thing, because now I feel like it's definitely time for me to speak out.
Why? You know, you go through all this effort. You spend multi-millions of dollars to make the world of these games as beautiful as possible. But then the characters are no longer allowed to be beautiful. It's really strange. And, you know, people will come out and say stuff like, well, women like this don't exist. Women don't look like this. Well, she is scanned, a 3D scan of a real woman. So there you go. There you go. So women do look like this. Maybe not all, or maybe not most, but look, I watch several Korean shows. I watch several things on Korea, South Korea and stuff. And they're thin people. They're a thin people. A lot of the women have thin, model-esque figures. So there's real women that look like this. You know what I mean?
Western game journalists were very upset about this game. They weren't happy about it. They said that it's got outdated looks. The woman in the game is not real. There's no way that women can actually look like these characters. And then this dropped from @ShiftUpWorld, Stellar Blade. I don't know if this is official or not, but they dropped a video of the model being scanned into the game. This is the real person who apparently, according to woke Western journalists, doesn't exist, but that's her body. It's real. And this has sent people into a meltdown, trying to go out of their way to make characters unattractive. And, I mean, here's some really good examples from this floating museum account. Here's one. I mean, they don't look the same at all. I mean, why didn't she just look like the girl on the left, if that's the model that they're based on? You see Stellar Blade doing it quite perfectly. And then you have this one right here. That was the big one over the summer. What is this face? Why can the Japanese do this perfectly, but in the American Western games, they give the characters crimson chins and like big noses? Like, she doesn't look anything like this girl on the left, if that is the model that she's based on. It's crazy. Here's another one. Like, look at the one on the right and the one on the left. It's wild. Here's some more. It's like they're intentionally trying to make women ugly in Western games. It's very, very weird.
Shouldn't have to argue for the inclusion of organically beautiful works of art like the natural female form, especially in something so harmless as a video game. Blood, sweat, and tears go into realizing and maintaining stunning shapes in real life. So I want to thank not only ShiftUp for demonstrating a mastery of the capture technology that puts 10 years worth of nightmares in the modern industry to shame, but I want to thank the actress for offering herself confidently to be immortalized and celebrated in a timeless way. Please like and comment on this video to push it up and show Shift Up that not only will we welcome Eve as our new Lara Croft, but appreciate them for breaking the mold of the West, who deliberately forces the bar lower with intentionally ugly women, female exclusive downgrades, while the men hypocritically stay jacked and muscly. In my humble opinion, the biggest mistake Sony could make is forcing Shift Up to censor Stellar Blade.
So yeah, guys, like I said, Tyrone Magnus, even the likes of Tyrone Magnus and kind of people, Tyrone's a gamer, so I don't want to say that, but you know, people that cover different forms of media, like Yellow Flash, I'm not looking at his channel name right now. I'm not too familiar with him. He's actually the video that I seen this pop up with and got me super excited to shoot this. But I got another video coming out for you guys that's about fake gamers. But yeah, this amazes me. I swear it's going to be the indie game developers. This just the indie game developers and you know the whole eastern side of the world with their video games that are going to save gaming in the West, hopefully, and definitely the ones in the West that are not going to go. They're gonna go against this whole agenda being pushed, because that's where it bothered me that Angry Joe and his people on the little Angry Joe show were making fun of people that are saying that's not my Mary Jane, but you know they're just grouping everybody in almost like a blanket, kind of like a blanket grouping. I'm just like blanket statement, like just throwing everybody in the group when there are genuine people that are saying this is not my Mary Jane for the fact that they're changing source material and they're, you know, Mary Jane is stated to be a model and they're purposefully making her look like, well, quote unquote, I'm going to just say a self-insert, you know, because there's stuff around that. Just look into it if you want. And I've noticed this happening with games. And actually, if you even go back to my Tomb Raider series, I noticed this in Tomb Raider and I was like, oh man, I see what they were saying, because I had to go back and double check stuff, because at the end of the day, I always say you need to look into it for yourself. But at one point it actually felt disingenuous to see certain YouTubers do this, and there's actually YouTubers getting, you know, certain ones getting exposed now for not being, but you know, to me, I was like, or for not actually, you know, what is it? Objectively reviewing games and not being paid off, right? And there's even the other side of people saying that there's no such thing, or it's absurd to think that YouTubers are being paid off. Are you kidding me? Because like I've heard one argument say that if you paid someone off, you would have to continuously pay them to keep quiet, and that is not the truth. There are agreements that you can. First of all, every truth is a half truth, so that just gets shut down immediately for me. There are things and deals that can go on in the background that you don't know what the terms of any agreement are, or why certain people push certain narratives or agendas. Even the ones that you almost see that want to crack, like they know what they're pushing is absurd, and it almost forces a certain reality to be accepted by people. You almost see the tears in these people's eyes that can't really come out and say things because they may have signed a contract. So do not believe these people just shutting this shit down. Believe for yourself. Be able to discern for yourself. But I definitely seen a change, especially in the AAA sphere, I'll say, for, you know, what they've been doing to games and all the other predatory practices. But for me, I wanted to take this video to literally say this all comes together, though. It's happening in everything, movies, Hollywood, everything. And it's all connected. It's all the same, whatever shadowy company that's following their shadowy overlords doing the same thing. Some people connect it back to, you know who, the BR and Guard, I'll say. The BR and the Guard. The Minerals and the Guard. Is that a good way to not directly say their names, the two companies' names? Good old Larry, I'll say that, and hopefully people pick up on that. But truthfully, you know, it's easy to see it really is easy to see. And one thing I like, and I'm not sending any hate or diss to any YouTuber or whatever, or creators or journalists that pick either side, you know, do what you got to do. You're picking, you know, you may be doing what you think is right, right? You know, some of these people might actually think they're riding for inclusion. So you never know. So I always stay in the middle and objective about it, because I'm like, look, but I just don't like a certain amount of reality being forced upon you when you're allowed to make up your own mind and be free. And games and art in general are supposed to be a level of form and a level of escapism. So there shouldn't be politics put into gaming. And it has really been weird that one of the agendas is to remove beautiful women from games when they exist. You know, I've had in my own personal life many beautiful women I've been around. So it's just one sitting to my left. So it's just super weird. It's super weird that they're trying to force it. Like, that has to raise eyebrows, even if you don't want to jump down the full conspiracy train of some of these, you know, people who cover this stuff. It's like, yo, you have to be aware of it. And I think it's disingenuous to immediately shut it down or laugh at people that are actually finding evidence, or because of the people who are extremists on one side being like, you know, going in, you know, I'm talking like going ham at Sweet Baby Inc. And Sweet Baby Inc. is like one of the writers, and all of that, and going super in, or all the race swapping characters in media and blah, 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 blah. Like, you know, the extremists on both sides of the spectrum. You can't just, you know, throw everybody else under the bus because there's extremists on both sides. That's what it is. There's extremists in spirituality, extremists in religion. So it's like, you know, I just hope that people who have these big, large audiences and a lot of people watch them, that they give them the most objective view they can. Can't control what your fan base is going to do, but then that gives you more incentive to be more honest in your, you know, in your blah, 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 in your videos. I had a brain fart there because I wanted to say more, but definitely I've been noticing it go down too. It's wild. And yeah, I hope this just opens eyes. Stellar Blade, there's the model. She's getting scanned in, as you've seen from the footage I put in. She is real. And just same like the face model for Mary Jane, they completely altered her appearance. But the real model for Mary Jane was a very beautiful girl. So, I mean, do what thou wilt with this information. I don't know. Some people will see it right in front of them and try to ignore it. You know, I had a good pal I met once that said, you know, some people will ask for an angel to come into their life, and it'll show up right at their doorstep, and they'll still ignore it, and they just won't be grateful. They'll miss it. It'll be right in front of them, and they'll miss it. So, yeah, man, don't be one of these people. Again, be able to discern for yourself, and no hate to anyone that I mentioned on this video. None at all. You know, everyone is seeing what they see, but I just think it's really disingenuous to shut down people who are actually trying to get gaming back into the state it was, you know, and trying to end some of these predatory practices and stuff. So it's cool. It's cool. It's cool to see these dudes doing it, because sometimes I really, like I said with this video, I haven't been able to speak about it because I just felt like, man, it's not my battle, but I definitely feel inclined to make a video. And some of these you like commentators on gameplay in games and blah blah blah, they even say that, you know, you have your own platform, and even though they have a platform that may be growing, you have your own voice to speak out about this, and the more the voices are heard, you know, the better. And yeah, that's really all everyone can do. And then basically pull more things like what happened with COD and Nick Merckx. Truthfully, strongest thing is boycotting stuff. What can they do if you could get everyone? And honestly, I give gamers a lot of credit. I was actually saying this to my roommate. I give gamers a lot of credit for being smart and being like, just, you know, so prove me right. You don't have to prove anything to anybody, but I really just like being, I feel like a natural born gamer. So anyways, I'm out of here. Much love and moonlight. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out. Got some gameplay coming your way and other things. So stay tuned. Peace.